It was a different time, somewhat of a golden era, and I miss that. You know, like Tom Cruise movies have always been around. He hasn't had to wait for, so I'm hoping, you know, I can't wait until we get to that point. I'm not gonna act like we're there yet, because we're not. But I'm very hopeful.
When it comes to receiving the highest honors in entertainment, the big awards usually go to a certain kind of performance.
Made me look like a fool, like a GD fool.
Oh, Miss Daisy?
And a certain kind of film.
Actually, it's a bit more complicated than that.
We can't help but notice that Hollywood loves to celebrate Black pain, trauma, and tragedy. But we, like every other human being, have a wide spectrum of emotions as we move through the world. And today, we celebrate Black joy and Black love through the lens of the romantic genre. Today on Cocoa Butter's The Era, we celebrate Black love with the chocolate leading man himself, Taye Diggs. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Leading man himself. How does that make you feel when you hear stuff like that?
A little embarrassed, but I've been around a minute, so I'm very appreciative.
Absolutely, you deserve it though.
Thank you.
And speaking of being around a minute, let's go back to the 90s. Can we do that?
Yes,
Let's take it on
I would
back.
like that.
You
It was a
ready?
good time for me.
In 1998, Taye Diggs walked into all of our hearts in his cinematic debut as the unforgettable Winston Shakespeare in the film How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
My name's Winston. Winston Shakespeare.
Holding his own opposite the legendary Angela Bassett, Diggs cemented his place as one of Hollywood's most sought-after leading men. Black rom-coms were booming in the 1990s. From Boomerang to Poetic Justice and Jason's Lyric to Love Jones. These films show Black men and women as driven professionals navigating love and careers. But these movies weren't just stories about love. They were a reflection of the bonds we make to survive in this world. Taye Diggs came from the theater world, and in 1996, he originated the role of Benny in the Tony Award-winning musical Rent. So you got your start in theater. And what was that transition like, going from theater into on-screen acting in film?
I was very ambitious as a young man, so when I graduated college, I had planned on doing TV and film at some point, so it just happened to start with theater. I'm very grateful because it was a great place to kind of hone your skills. So it was a very natural progression.
So there were quite a few Black men in the 90s that were really getting in and dominating the Black rom-com field. What were those auditions like?
I mean, I must say, it was offer only.
Audition who?
But I was still seeing all those cats just a little earlier before. While I was in theater, I was auditioning for the TV gigs. And a lot of these actors were in New York auditioning for the same gigs. So that's more where I saw, you know, the same cats. But by the time I started doing film, we were all working. Yeah. So we were once again very fortunate.
What was the support system like, and did you all lean on to each other?
It was cool, yeah. It didn't feel like there were as many of us kind of at the top. So because of that, we were able to support each other, because when one person was working, we knew that there was space for the other four. So we were like, as long as you're working, maybe I can get a gig. It was when nobody was working where we all had to kind of scramble for the same parts. At the time, you know, it was great. It seemed like there was enough to go around. You know, we were either in the same movie together, or we were able to support each other at premieres or at openings and when you know, when those movies came out. So it was a great time.
This era brought along a series of films led by a new group of rising stars, similar to the Brat Pack of the 80s. Lorenz Tate, Taye Diggs, Nia Long, Morris Chestnut, Terrence Howard, Sanaa Lathan, and Omar Epps would star in some of the biggest and most iconic films of the late 90s and into today. The Best Man, written and directed by Malcolm D. Lee, boasted a star-studded ensemble that included Nia Long, Morris Chestnut, and Regina Hall. And In the Wood, written and directed by Rick Famuyiwa, Diggs acted alongside Omar Epps and Richard T. Jones in a film about three men reflecting on their childhood growing up in Inglewood. This new era of romance spoke the language of what Black relationships actually look like. No longer was it daring or special to show upwardly mobile Black couples. Success was now an ingrained part of our narrative. The 90s, we saw such an influx of 90s Black rom-coms. What do you think that magic formula was that made them so successful?
Well, back then, we were kind of the first of our time. So that was wonderful. You know, we didn't know that it was a genre. You know, back then we were just working. It was great to be working with each other. We called them Black movies, but once again, it was just great to be working. That was a luxury, you know. It's great now that the perspective has broadened. But that being said, it was a different time, somewhat of a golden era. And I miss that they're not making movies like that right now. I'm sure there will probably be an influx now with all the streaming, and I'm excited for that. It's been a very interesting growth. You know, like Tom Cruise movies have always been around. He hasn't had to wait for.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, you know, I can't wait until we get to that point. I'm not gonna act like we're there yet, because we're not. But I'm very hopeful.
Was there a film in the 90s that you wanted to be a part of but you didn't get a chance to? You're like, man, I wanted that role. That was mine.
Have you heard of the movie Black Rod, Large Jugs?
I'm
just kidding.
I have not. I missed that one. Hate to say I missed that one. I missed it. Was that the one you missed? You were like, I missed this role. Okay, I missed that one.
I cracked myself up.
Oh my goodness.
I couldn't wait for that. Did I embarrass you? Because that's what I was trying to do.
You didn't, because I was like, is it on DVD? Because I was trying to figure out how I could stream it. Because that's what I was trying to figure out. That's what I was doing.
What was the question now? Which one? What was it?
Was there a film in the 90s that you weren't a part of that you were just like, I wish I would have, you know, contributed to that in some way? Whether it's an actor, producer,
Let me
maybe
think.
you wish you came up with.
Oh, I would have loved to have worked with Will Smith. I'm still trying to work with Will Smith. He was like, when I was coming up, he had broken through and I had my sights. I was like, okay, if he can do it.
So you looked to him.
I feel like, yeah. He represented a lot of what I thought I wanted, or actually what I did want back then. Now I'm focusing more on, you know, behind the scenes, and, you know, I don't need all of that extra stuff that kind of fuels you when you're younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got a family, I want to stay close to home.
So you're interested in stepping into like the producer, director role?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I
like
am.
telling
and
the
that's
story
been-
yourself.
Sure, yeah. Storytelling.
Let's take a look at modern representations of Black love in an era where other unique voices now have a chance to tell their stories. Moonlight, the winner of the Academy Award for Best Picture in 2017, and If Beale Street Could Talk, which gave Regina King a long overdue Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in 2019. This not only made the audience feel like they were experiencing raw passion and poetry right along with the characters on screen, but finally broke the cycle as to which of our stories Hollywood celebrates. We've seen such a beautiful wave of Black men especially finally getting awards and accolades and categories that they were left out of for so long. Have you ever taken a moment to take a step back and look at the impact that the roles that you've contributed to have done to Black
Not
actors?
on my own, but people, you know, I'm at the age now where people are coming up to me saying, oh man, you were in a classic. I'm doing what I'm doing because of you. That, it's a lot, but once you let it kind of wash over you, it's cool, and it's humbling.
Who inspires you right now? What's motivating you?
The youth, you know what I mean? I gotta say, they're different than I feel like, you know, with each generation comes a certain amount of change. And, you know, these young people with whom I'm working, you know, I'm very inspired by them. There's a lot of really good work being done. You know, a lot of people have a lot to say with where we are, you know, as a country and politically, but there's a lot of really great stuff happening as well. And I choose to kind of focus on the positives.
Speaking of putting on a different hat,
Yes.
you're a new role, an All-American. You
Oh,
have
man, I'm
stepped into the
digging
role
that.
of mentor,
Yeah.
coach. Like, you are now that person that people look
Yeah,
up to, right?
that was a
Now,
trip, 'cause
so
I have-
being on set with like young actors of color,
Yeah,
like Daniel
sure,
Ezra, is there anything
sure.
you pour into them and that you try to leave them with?
I'm learning from them. These cats, you know, they know they don't need my help. They are so dedicated and you know, have such integrity, and they have so much respect for the work. You know, I was nowhere near working at the pitch. You know, they're at which they're working, and it's really great to watch. I'm the most immature one on set. It's great. We're all very proud of the show because we're dealing with a lot of issues that are very pertinent to what's happening today with sexual proclivity and identity and race and, you know, sports, politics, all of it. I've been lucky enough to work on a lot of really great programs. This one I'm very proud of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The supergroup of actors reunited for the Best Man holiday in 2013, which made over $72 million at the box office, proving that our stories of love can be a success. As we continue to lean into our Black joy, may we always celebrate the beautiful connections that Black love can bring. Thank you for everything you've done for the culture.
Thank you. Woohoo!
We appreciate you.
Yes, don't forget to get that movie.
Absolutely, I'll get it. Streaming now. Okay? I've already purchased it during this interview. Purchase.